All right, buckle up. This car has a spoiler! Sitting in my garage again, having just watched Wonder Woman Bloodlines, which I rented from Redbox, just came out today on home video. Didn't like this movie, but let's jump into the spoilery stuff, which has a good chunk to do with, you know, some of my chief disappointments. One, Cyber, the villain Cyber, struck me as a pretty uninteresting villain, especially when it seemed like there was absolutely nothing to her. She got tossed aside by Medusa. But then, in a post-credit scene, or mid-credit scene, whatever you want to call it, that's when we get the reveal of who Cyber really was. Wonder Woman confronts the scientist, Dr. Kale, or whatever the crap her name was. And then we get a bunch of exposition spilled out from Kale about how she was the one behind the murder of Silver Swan's mother and other bad stuff that she did, you know. That's the kind of stuff you put in the last scene before the climax. You know, I mean, she was like, I was going to say she was the main villain, but I mean, this movie kind of lacked focus in terms of who the main villain was. You know, was it Silver Swan? Well, no, because she became kind of good in the end. Was it Cyber? Well, she seemed really throwaway as a villain. And then, basically at the end, I mean, the worst thing that Cyber did was unleash her genetic experiment, which was Medusa. And Medusa was really kind of the villain at the climax. And so, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could argue that Kale was a villain in the same sense that Lex Luthor was a villain in Batman vs. Superman, you know, unleashing, you know, Doomsday at the end. But I just found her very disappointing as a villain, and just an odd choice to reveal her as a villain in a mid-credit sequence. So weird. Usually those are used to tie into, you know, whatever's coming next, and the most we got that could be a hint of what's coming next is Kale saying, "I'll get you, Wonder Woman, I'm coming for you," and stuff. And who knows if they're actually going to make a Wonder Woman movie that follows up on that, you know. I kind of guess that they will not. This doesn't, you know, unlike the death of Superman, this doesn't seem to have, I mean, I would guess, a storyline that has to be told, you know, to follow it up. Like, you know, the Reign of the Superman story kind of has to be told after the Death of Superman story. So I kind of doubt there's going to be a follow-up. But, and then what else was, you know, the Purple Ray thing at the end, one of my chief criticisms in my review, which I'm going to record after this, I'm sure is going to be that it was all just too simple. Everything felt too simple. Yes, Wonder Woman was, you know, beaten up and, you know, being pushed, you know, maybe closer to her limits. I'm not going to say her limits. I think she could have been pushed much further. But I think the Purple Ray thing needed to have a cost associated with it, because they showed it to us at the beginning how it could heal basically horrible disfiguring, you know, wounds to Steve Trevor. And so you know that they can pull that out, and you can see ahead of time she's gonna, you know, she's on Themyscira, she's blinded herself, but she's gonna be fine, you know. I think you don't want to wait to reveal the Purple Ray until the very end, because then it's like a Deus Ex Machina thing, and it just feels too easy and convenient. Like they just made this thing up magically to fix the problem, you know. I think the solution is you reveal the Purple Ray early on, but you attach a cost to it. And that may not be how the Purple Ray works in the comics, you know. But for the sake of story, I think that's something they could have changed in the adaptation to an animated movie. Add a tremendous cost to the Purple Ray, especially if it's going to be reversing such horrible damage, you know. And then her doing that to herself, you know, Wonder Woman as a character doesn't know she's going to reconcile with her mom, but we as an audience can kind of see that coming, you know. You just, you know, unless you're a really young viewer, and I don't think this movie is for young viewers. It's PG-13. It's dealing with issues of homosexuality, and so I don't think it's for young viewers, you know. But if you're an older viewer, then you've watched enough movies to be sophisticated enough as a viewer to be able to see that kind of stuff coming. And so, yeah, just disappointing. Let's see, is there any other spoilery stuff that I would want to mention? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say, and I don't need to belabor my thoughts on a movie that I really didn't enjoy. So, that's all for now. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We've got a ton going on here at Spirit Blade Productions and Christian Geek Central, including our in-depth Bible study for geeks, movie, game, and other entertainment reviews or commentary, live streams, Christian geek news, original audio dramas, and tons more. And on top of all that, you can become a Spirit Blade insider with an influential voice and get access to exclusive content and rewards. It's your involvement as a patron that will keep all of this going and growing, so I want to thank you for your consideration in that. For more information, please check out our Patreon page through the link below at patreon.com/spiritbladeproductions. Thanks for listening.